lining up, and there's a substitute, of course, but to see them in the flesh, you saw the joy, the pure joy of these fans as they look down. So we're all in for a cracking treat, so get ready.
By the way, there are actually a couple of extra subs on the Argentine bench, bringing more than a full slate. Sampaoli, including Papu Gomez, who was so brilliant at Atalanta and could be making, finally, a well-deserved debut for the Albiceleste. There are the men in the middle. It's an Aussie crew, as expected. Chris Beath, 32 years of age, from Brisbane. He's been a ref at the top flight in Australia since 2005. FIFA ref since 2011. One of the first professional refs in Australia, and also the first video assistant referee. But he'll be out with the whistle today. Nathan McDonald, Paul Centrangelo will be running the lines, and Peter Green is the fourth official. And a moment of silence for the victims of the terror attacks recently before this one gets underway.
Absolutely immaculately observed. Moment silence, and now the joy in their hearts as they see their wonderful Canarinos lining up. Coutinho, what a beautiful, balanced little footballista. And of course, the Mozart of our game, Lionel.
A little help from above, but Paulinho has provided a little help from below.
The other thing is, Phil, is a full moon. It looks to me like it's a full moon over the stadium tonight. We'll probably get some good looks at it. Though even the man in the moon's coming out to watch this.
Lucas Biglia, who could be on the way to Milan, if you believe some of the reports.
Interesting. Biglia, always the favourite of all the coaches. How much he actually brings to Argentina is debatable. But he's going to be with Banega, locking down at back three and morphing from a back four. And of course, Ever Banega, Internazionale, ex-Boca man.
And he could be on his way to Tigres in Mexico, if you again believe some of the reports. Renato Augusto and Paulinho, two Chinese-based players for Brazil.
As we were doing the preview of this game, I was just getting out of bed wondering who the number 10 for Argentina would be. That's how groggy I was this morning getting up for this game. But now we're rocking and rolling, and we will be entertained. Lovely, beautiful playing surface as well. Be a lively pitch, as of course Australia enter their winter. Nice knockback.
However, offside the call. Messi a little over-eager. Jose Hernandez, Jaime Macias on our Spanish language side. Phil Shane, Ray Hudson with you. And glad you could join us in these wee hours. Again, approaching 8 p.m. local time in Melbourne. 50 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. The humidity up there a bit with just a light wind from the south. Just a couple of weeks away from winter. Down Aussie way.
Oh, nice touch.
Laid
Lovely
off for
football.
Willian. Skips it across, but too far for Paulinho.
Then typical understanding between the Brazilians. It's passing over distance, questioning the player on the ball and off of the ball, the target man marked, but the ball still being played in. You can expect that all night long from his team. Over the top, that's what I like.
56-year-old from Rio Grande do Sul, Tiche, Adenor Leonardo Bachi.
His ex-team, of course, is Corinthians. He's had a lot of clubs, Phil. I think this is his 17th job overall, but Corinthians is where he really made his name. And George Sampaoli coming out and saying, you know, I look at this Brazil side now, and they remind me a lot of the great Corinthians teams he had. He hopes he can produce something similar to what he achieved in Chile, of course, Sampaoli. We will see, and only time will tell.
Tiche in charge of Corinthians 3 times towards the end. 2 Brazilian crowns, a cup, a Copa Libertadores, and a Club World Cup title.
Not bad, not bad.
Decent player, more of a journeyman going back through Portuguesa, but a knee injury ended his career early. Sampaoli at the age of 19 at Newell's Old Boys, a serious leg injury, and he got into coaching at a very early age. You mentioned Chile, 3-time champion at U de Chile, including a Sudamericana, and then moved on to Chile and got them finally a Copa America title. Ball intercepted. Nice step up by Thiago
so
Silva.
Many of the times you see those little dagger balls trying to be played into the feet there to Di Maria, and he's got that cow's field in front of him, just played into that area, trying to be so intricate sometimes. I always think that players like that, you see Messi hitting that space all the time, just inviting the player onto it.
Well, we've seen what Chiche has done, building through the back, but then at the same point giving them the freedom to go forward. This is about as close to Jogo Bonito as you can get back from the Zico days. For Argentina, what do we expect from Sampaoli? Is it Bielsa ball?
I hope it's a lot more improved in the midfield, Phil, that's for sure. That's the key element. That's good touch from Higuaín to Di Maria.
Back for Messi, chips it in. It was looking for Di Maria, but Higuaín in the way.
Exactly what I was advertising there earlier, Phil. Messi will always hit that space in front of the player. He was looking for that ball to be delivered into the space for Di Maria to run onto, but unfortunately, Higuaín thought it was for him.
Villa biting in on Willian. Chelsea midfielder, but interesting to find out where he ends up. It is silly season. Nothing too silly about some of the dollar figures that have been thrown around.
Tackle.
Coutinho playing over on the right side, a little bit reversed from what we're normally used to seeing, with Willian on the left, Coutinho on the right. Maybe again keeping that gap open for Neymar. He is probably with the rest of us watching.
He's certainly got some great inventive footballers apart from Messi in this side. It's always been the same for Argentina. Individually, absolutely spellbinding. Collectively, not quite so much. That's what Sampaoli is tasked with, bringing them all together.
A little slip. Jesus keeps it alive before he's chopped down just outside, but he came back from an offside position first.
Just starting out on his incredible journey down the yellow brick road is Gabi Jesus, the ex-Palmeiras man. What a wonderful player he was for the Big Green. But Manchester City said, yep, we'll have you over here in Blighty.
Back to Weberton. Again from Atlético Paranaense. Spent some time at Corinthians, but not while Chiche was there. Here's a chance for Coutinho. Takes the extra touch. And Mercado sliding over from the left, able to knock it free.
Yeah, he's got Gabi Jesus running square to him, Phil. Coutinho looking, as you said, to drip a little bit more honey on that ball and then pull the trigger. He hesitated for a split second, and that is strange for Coutinho. Usually he'll banjo those ones well home. Look out. Great ball.
Chance for Di Maria.
Magic.
Extra touch to the goal line and goes for goal, but hits the post.
Fabulous attempt from Messi. Brilliant from Angel Di Maria. Mamma mia. What a ball played through. Slide rule pass here. Dybala leads him absolutely magnificently, and he's in like Flynn, and he strikes the upright. Unlucky from Di Maria.
Much of the attention focused on Messi, Dybala, and Higuaín, but it is Di Maria in this new role, I guess for lack of a better word, the beau séjour role, and he's the guy that could benefit.
The pass from Dybala was absolutely Messi-esque, no question about it. The highest compliment you can give him. It was an absolute peach of a pass. When we look at it again, Phil, you've got two players that are very, very angled towards him, and he had no space to find Angel.
Well, if there is a concern about Di Maria, it is a bit of fragility.
There's a little bit of a step on right here, right on the end of the toes. That'll sting you. That's right on your toenails, and that is a bad one. It looks like they're more concerned with the ankle.
Again, as he was pivoting, pirouetting almost, he got stepped on. Appears to be okay. Nothing intentional from Paulinho.
No, not at all.
The ex-Spurs midfielder.
what a selection as well from Angel to go high at that angle from that wonderful ball from Dybala. It's a wonderful ace to pull out of your hand. You don't see many players who'll go for that. The audacity of Di Maria, and he was a lick of paint away from it, and looking for the groundsman here at the stadium who painted those goalposts. I'm coming to get you. What an opener that would have been.
Both of these teams, I would say, a slow start, but World Cup qualifying did not go according to plans. That's one reason Chiche stepped in, provided the spark. Sampaoli actually the third boss in the run to 2018. It started with Tata Martino, now at Atlanta, but did not feel as though the federation was 100% behind him and stepped aside. Edgardo Bausa stepped in and stepped into it. Cleared away. Felipe Luis, a soft touch to Willian.
Poor ball out of the back from Sergio Romero there.
Felipe Luis missing the mark. Up steps Otamendi.
Nicely. Lovely play.
Banega a little deeper, almost a Pirlo type roll.
It was a lovely ball from Banega into Dybala. I wanted Dybala to spin on that ball, and he had broken the line with that wonderful pass over Banega, and Dybala not aware that he had a lovely inviting space just behind that midfield line of Brazil.
This is just a friendly, but there's so much you can read into it. 4 matches remain. Brazil, the first team to qualify for Russia 2018, joining the hosts. Argentina, meanwhile, would have to go through the playoff to get there. With so much tied up. Second place with 24, Colombia. 6th place and out of the World Cup, Ecuador with 20. And then you have Peru and Paraguay with 18. There's still so much to be decided.
And these fringe players coming in and saying if they do get their opportunities in these games coming up for Brazil, that look as if they're automatics, that they're going to take full advantage of it. They want to go into qualification absolutely pristine.
Off the referee, Chris Beath. By the way, these two teams do have other matches before they head off. Brazil taking on Australia on Tuesday right here at the G, and
beautiful pass.
Argentina traveling to Singapore. All tucked inside. Up steps Banega. Back wide. Di Maria tries to find Ever, but
a little bit too fast for his own good, wasn't he, Angel? Playing the ball off and then like a greyhound out of the traps, out of his pace, and really just looking for that little kiss back, but just not coming. Crowd being entertained by high quality football, all right. The passing absolutely wonderful. Well, commentators curse.
Well, entertained regardless. Fernandinho with Higuain providing some bite to win it back.
Nicely.
Mercado off a give and go, and he draws the foul against Fernandinho. No, says the ref.
Wonderful positioning by this referee. Angel Di Maria doesn't like it, but he's perfectly placed. He's got a wonderful crow's nest type of observation point here. And he's looking right down on it. Take a look. Ball's played off here, and here the referee sees that he gets the ball ahead, and there's the follow-up challenge, which is a foul.
Mercado slamming the door in Fernandinho's face. Mercado, the player to keep an eye on. Mentioned they do have 3 right defenders out there. He's the one that switched over to the left side, but does not seem to be slowing him down. Pops up on Willian, and off the hand.
Unlucky. Lively ball here, isn't it?
It's a fast pitch.
Yeah.
And as you can see, that center square where they normally do the bowling, covered in some new turf. But it does seem to be in quite good shape. Of course, then again, they do play a lot of action here, both from cricket and Australian rules. Sometimes a couple of games a weekend.
Yeah, not too much to complain about the pitch, for sure.
The stadium, the largest in the southern hemisphere, the top 10 stadium in the world. Higuain ruled to have bumped Silva.
That's not so bad either. Higuain thinks he gets away with that in Serie A, and he probably does. Take a look.
Not much.
No, well, it's very shrewd by Higuain, turning and thinking he'd maybe get away with one if there's more of a standing position from Thiago Silva, and perhaps more of a challenge onto him. He's expecting the bump into him, but doesn't come. Silva goes a tumble and gets the call.
Mentioned eyes on Mercado to find out who he can adapt. Eyes on Silva, the captain. Just 50 minutes the last 2 years for Brazil, but back wearing the armband today. Di Maria under pressure from Paulinho. And lays it back to Sergio Romero. Wide for Otamendi. Up the line. Maidana off to Gomez, and now a foul the other way. Stadium holds about 102,000. They were expecting 95,000, and it looks like it's much more than that. "30,000 Brazilian expats in Australia, many in the Melbourne area. More than 20,000 Argentines.
They're all here.
And they brought their friends. Romero guarding that back post as Willian gets set to whip it in.
Nice space for the Mineirão to attack if it's good
Looking
enough, and it is.
Back post,
nicely
headed into the middle, but cleared by Villa. Launched high into the air by Fagner. A little follow through. And all the way back.
As much as it's a question for Argentina playing around Messi, the defense is a question mark as well. It's been very, very shaky in the qualifications. So Sampaoli, not all just about the attack here, and he is trying a different type of lineup in many ways. A 31-year-old River Plate man, Maidana, he introduced ex-Boca boy, so you know he's got the class.
Ex-River as well.
Easy, Phil.
Ball launched forward, and then retreating Brazil to try and maintain possession. Gil, the 29-year-old, another of the Chinese-based players. Remember when it used to be if you went to China or the Middle East or North America, you can write your national team career away?
Sure. In some countries, for sure, but not for Brazil. As you say, a few players, Paulinho in Guangzhou and Gil in Shandong.
Augusto in Beijing.
Yep.
And Hulk's still there. Don't count him out. Ball.
You're right, Phil, though. Chiche not minding that, and certainly the players living up to their expectations coming in. Doesn't seem to be too much of a letdown at all, despite playing in one of the leagues that's just constructing themselves. Look out.
Danger here as Coutinho bursts down the right wing. Two in the middle looking for Willian. An acrobatic clearance by Otamendi to get it out of danger. Corner kick.
Good defending. Lovely attack by Coutinho. It doesn't have a lot on for him. So beautiful give and go and get. He's already taken his pictures. He keeps on doing it. He sees all of his players pretty much marked up. So he's got to go for that curler towards Willian. Maybe with a little bit more height on it, but that's a hell of a hard ball to hit on the run. But good effort by Coutinho.
Into the middle, out comes Romero. Got a good fist to it.
Yep. Makes his decision early, comes and claims it strong.
Brazil starting World Cup qualifying with a loss in Chile against the Copa America champs. Bounced back with a win against Venezuela, but then stumbled. A 1-1 draw in Argentina. They did beat Peru, but then draws against Uruguay and Paraguay before Chiche came to the rescue, and they have not lost since. Heads and tails above the rest of CONMEBOL. Ball back. Otamendi sweeps it in for Maidana, who's now playing in the center. 31-year-old late bloomer. Spent some time at Metalist Kharkiv before heading back to Argentina and River.
Nice football out of the back from the Albi Celeste back giveaway from Dybala. Just didn't catch that one right.
Tried to launch it for Gomez, but it spun too much. Argentina, a slow start themselves, winless through their first 3, but then seemed to right the ship with 4 straight victories. 2 more draws, but then 3 losses in their last 5.
Good
Squared,
ball.
driving it in and looking for the corner, but too high from Renato Augusto.
Well, high, wide, and ugly here. Wonderful construction from the Canarino. Lovely passing, give, go, get again on the run. Got a lot of options. The Argentine defense, like marbles on a glass table here, are all over the place. And nobody picking up Augusto. A poor finish from the Beijing man.
Vega spots Messi, dropping into the center and then bursting through the defense. Sends it wide for Di Maria. Fagner trying to slow him down. Trickles inside, up steps Silva, and bangs it off Dybala for the goal kick.
Different noise rings around this stadium when Lionel Messi gets the ball. Expecting pure magic every time he touches it, of course, and more often than not they get it. Incredible dependency on Lionel Messi though, Phil. I'm sure you have the statistics on how many games Argentina have played and they have not had Messi. They've lost so many of them.
Maidana able to clear. Well, out of their last 7 matches without Messi, just 7 points out of a potential 21.
That's amazing, and every time he's played, they usually win.
Which again is why it was so vital for Argentina. Currently in that playoff spot, the 5th spot in qualifying, in danger of missing out on the World Cup. They could not afford to see Messi missing the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Especially the next one against their other arch rivals in Uruguay.
And they've been on a bad slope downwards. Uruguay have hit a real bad run of form. So they'll be going to Montevideo, looking to take advantage of that. And of course, Messi will be up against his own teammate, Luis Suarez, fighting each other tooth and nail.
Nodded forward, Maidana finds Banega, back to Villa. Villa, not really a flashy player, more a consistent one. Banega the one that tries to provide the spark. You notice a difference in Argentina under Sampaoli compared to Bausa?
20 minutes in, not too much. But certainly Dybala's introductions giving Messi a lot more options. We've already seen that produce, well, it's 2 minutes in, nearly produced the first goal. Well, here he goes, magic man.
Messi in the center of the park, up for Dybala. Tries to turn, tried to feed back to Messi, but poked away by Paulinho.
I think the cohesion of the Argentine midfield, oh, that's a lovely give and go, and he's got the option on the back post if he can hit him.
Otamendi and Maidana trying to catch. He does find Coutinho, dances around Romano, who reaches out to slap it away and then catches it before it crosses the goal line.
Otamendi, who comes in with a great tackle here. Wonderful play from Willian, who was released inside of his own half. A beautiful breakaway. Coutinho nearly the man on the spot yet again. He's had some wonderful chances. 21 minutes in, the Liverpool lad. And I think that was Otamendi come across just to put the fire out in the nick of time, Phil.
Villa. Messi in support.
Some goal-denying tackles coming in across the back for Argentina.
And credit to Romero as well for making it difficult.
Absolutely.
The man who can't find a starting job.
He could only live Europa League titles. You know, had a wonderful season when he played for Manchester United, the 30-year-old.
Lunging forward, Gomez to knock it into touch. Five-time world champions Brazil.
Here it is.
Reverse angle.
Wonderful run and at jab-rabbit pace. The Coutinho, should he have played it first time? It is Otamendi that comes across. But as you point out, Phil, Sergio comes across as his insurance policy behind that. But Coutinho thinks he's got the luxury of that split second to settle the ball and then hit it. And that perhaps cost him. Maybe should have struck it first time through the ball.
Brazil have opened the scoring in 10 of their last 13 World Cup qualifiers.
From Messi.
Argentina looking to open the scoring here.
Pullbacks on.
Dybala for Messi, who had to wait, then tries to slide it through and cleared away by Fagner. It's Gabi Jesus against the world.
Played.
The three-man back line has been tested.
Yep.
But to this point has responded.
Come through the fire all right, but just at the last baby's breath. Look out.
Against Fagner. Drives it low to the near post. Waverton with the stop.
Some good attacks, but they haven't been able to find Higuain at all with any space or any time on the ball. And the Brazilians doing a good job in covering the Juventus hitman.
Higuain quickly looking. Messi
Beautiful.
flips it in for Dybala.
Lovely
then
football.
Makes the move.
Great
Dybala tackled away by Fernandinho.
Great slider from the side. Clean as a whistle. And he wraps up Dybala in cellophane. Wonderful attack from the Albi Celesti. Wonderful defense from Brazil.
35th cap for Fernandinho, the Manchester City mid. Renato Augusto. Thiago Silva sliding to the left side as Gil moves over to the right.
And smart passing through tight angles into marked players. X's and O's cancelling each other out. Just.
This is the 108th meeting between these two arch rivals. 44 victories for Brazil, 37 for Argentina.
Fagner there, playing well. It's only his third appearance for Brazil.
Ex-Corinthians.
Very, very settled.
Went to Europe and then back to Otimao. This a bit concerning. Mercado never one to shy away. Got stepped on again.
Clicks come through again, but it's that twist as the player tries to get away from the challenge, and nothing malicious there from Gabi. Nothing intentional anyway.
Looked like Mercado actually had that ankle braced as well, so maybe an earlier injury or perhaps just precautionary. There's Villa. Banega pushing up a bit higher. Well, they're calling it a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1. Seems as though Messi has the free roll.
Smart. Good ball. Magic.
Bala one touch wide. Jose Luis Gomez and oversteps field to knock it away.
Again, knifing ball from Dybala that produces the goods. Wonderful vision, but the touch of the pass, the weight of the pass from Dybala, absolutely perfect.
Corner kick seemed to be the initial call, but the assistant pointing out it came off of Gomez. One of the youngsters out there, in fact, really the only true new face making his debut, the right back from Lanús. This could be dangerous, but curls into the path of Silva.
Well dealt with.
Silva back over to the right side. There's Sampaoli.
You notice that this dependency on Messi cannot go on forever, knowing that Messi has played just 6 rounds in this qualification process, Phil, and Argentina have won 5 of them. And of the 8 matches that Leo's missed, his country's just won 1.
And again, mentioned how tight things are. Even Peru and Paraguay just on the verge of knocking Argentina out.
Yep.
Really only Bolivia and Venezuela on the outs. Good ball forward, but Di Maria a little too far afield.
Yeah, Peru still in the firing line.
Victory could see them draw to within a point of Argentina.
What do you think? Just
a lean by Di Maria. Next qualifying round set for the end of August, the beginning of September. They'll play 2. Peru will be taking on Bolivia. You'd figure they would get the 3 points. Mentioned Argentina at Uruguay. Brazil, meanwhile, taking on Ecuador, who started as one of the leaders, but now find themselves in 6th place and out. So a huge match for Ecuador.
Again, wonderful football from the back from Brazil. Argentina's doing the same thing. Beautiful passes through, bypassing the obvious one and hitting the next line of player who kisses it on. And just wonderful intricacy and delicate touch from both teams. But again, they're going to need a skeleton key to unlock the defenses here today, by the looks of it.
Touched in. Gabi Jesus seemed to get clipped and goes flying. Advantage played by Chris Beath. Coutinho dances around Mercado. Biglia in to poke it free. And Gabi Jesus still down at midfield.
Yeah, and Di Maria goes to kick the ball out on purpose and gets some bargy from Paulinho there, and that's out of order by Paulinho because Di Maria had seen that Gabi Jesus was down on the deck and played the ball out.
Remember, he missed months with a broken metatarsal, and anytime you're grabbing your feet.
It's another one of these stomps right on top of the foot, and these modern day boots, they're very, very lacking in the protection because of the sinewsy type of materials that they use nowadays, like a second skin. There you see Di Maria hold on, your player's down.
Did not like the challenge from Paulinho, and Paulinho didn't like the response. So a little fire from Brazil, but big concern about Gabi Jesus. It was that right foot, a fractured metatarsal that kept him out for months at Manchester City. This time, as you point out, it seems as though it was just a stomp. And they are trying to put the boot back on. But this is a friendly, and this is one of the reasons that the club coaches worry. Not just the travel halfway around the globe, but in what some might describe as a meaningless game, to lose a player could be the worst possible result. Yellow card against the River defender. And that a good sign.
Hit rate for this spellbinding young footballer, Gabriel Jesus. Already got 5 goals to his name for the Canarino in just 6 performances, so the best's yet to come. There's a good beef about him, Phil. He's still filling out physically, so there's plenty of scope for him in a muscular sort of way as he develops as a mature footballer. But all of the other tools in his cabinet are really sharp and well oiled. He's a tremendous footballer with great range, pace, technique. He's Brazilian, but he's a good one.
Maidana gets it back to midfield.
It's been a long, long time since they could produce a player of the great phenomenon type of standards like Ronaldo brought, but maybe Gabi Jesus is the guy.
But then again, now they seem to be producing him for fun again. You have Neymar and Coutinho Now Gabi Jesus and even the 16-year-old Vinicius. £40 million move to Real Madrid. And he can't even go for a couple of seasons. 33rd minute. Di Maria out wide.
Got a lot to contend with. Brazil doing a great job in covering up Di Maria. The time that Argentina has been able to get through and behind this Brazil side has been on the overlapping run with questioning balls into the players and then continuing their run, because as they try to approach in a slower way, it doesn't seem as if they're able to find any way through this Brazil side that's been well lined up. Well, they've got to do it with a little bit more pop and pizzazz, it seems, Argentina. They're capable of it. Look out.
Stolen away by Willian, but then Belo puts out the fire. Maidana beaten for pace by Willian. Lifted by Coutinho across for Felipe Luis. Lifts it just over the crossbar from long range.
Can't blame him for pulling the trigger here. He has the space, he has the time, and he always likes a red-hot crack at the goal, but he's disappointed with himself. Lovely pick out from Coutinho. One touch to steady. And like a true Brazilian, he sees the whites of the goalpost. He cannot resist having a pop.
Coutinho about to turn 25 in less than a week's time. Still so much in front of him.
Heavy challenge over the top here. Thiago Silva on Gonzalo.
There's some that were saying Silva's day was done. 32-year-old defender for PSG, but he's looked solid today. Messi into Gabi Jesus.
Lovely ball out of the back again from Argentina. It was Banega that found Messi.
Just sails past Gomez. Beautiful look at the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. 1853 when they first started playing cricket here.
That was a little different though, Phil. The whole place was a little different.
Wasn't 100,000?
1853.
Might not have been 100,000 in Melbourne.
I don't think there was a toilet in them days.
And as you can see, it's huge. Almost polo ground size with the cricket grounds. 187 yards by 160. And the soccer pitch today stamped right in the middle. See some of those lower seats empty. That's because the fans have to sit just a bit higher up to look over the boards and the benches. Calm under pressure. Otamendi's pass for Gomez goes awry, though. Lunging in to try and knock it free, the Man City defender, to his Man City teammate, the opponent today. A little bump from Belo.
A little bit hesitant there, trying to play the ball, Gabi Jesus. He saw the ball was open, the pass was open, but then it closed in front of him and then got dispossessed.
Romero with some spin, chested down by Mercado.
Good run. Nicely.
Made back Higuain.
Great
driven
ball.
Down the line, Di Maria, onside.
Wonderful from Banega.
Banega leaving Sevilla as Sampaoli arrived, so another one that Sampaoli gets a chance to coach for the first time.
Oh, unlucky.
And Banega, like Sampaoli, like Messi from Rosario. A cradle of soccer in Argentina. Fernandinho reaching in and knocks Dybala down.
A lovely, intricate football again from Argentina, playing it into tight spaces. Players man-marked, but finding the way through, and his feet continue to dance. The wonderful Dybala. A great season he had for Juventus. Had a disappointing final against the champions Real Madrid.
38th minute. Argentina 63% of the possession, but just 2 shots so far. Messi lifting it up. Higuain heading it down, and Weberton making the stop, even though the flag had come up. That was close.
I think it was right as well, Phil. These referees having good games.
Nathan McDonald on the near side.
Chris Beath in the middle. Hasn't done much wrong at all. And that's an incredibly good call there, because as you say, it was very, very tight. But I think if you stop that and freeze it, you saw that Higuain was just barely a shoulder offside. Nothing in it.
Messi found a pocket.
Good ball.
Picks out Di Maria.
Nicely.
Looking for Higuain, but 3 defenders in the way. Blasted to the low post, off the clearance. And what a shot from Di Maria.
What a save by Weberton. And this is tremendous football. Of course, the magic man picks the wide man out. Angel. Beautiful ball in. He'll get another crack at it. And then this one comes back. That's a decent ball played in, but then that volley is rasped home, and that one could have squirted through on the inside of Weberton, but the Aranense man comes and saves him.
Mentioned now 3 shots, all of them from Di Maria, and all of them at that near post. One actually rattled the iron. Now it's Messi against Wagner, tries to sneak it in. The ball bounces back off the Argentine, and then off the Brazilian and out for the corner.
Good defending. Wagner knows he's got a tiger by the tail here, and his teeth at the other end, but he did a great job blocking that cross.
Wagner, 27 years of age, about to be 28. Offside, a wasted restart for Argentina. Messi trying to figure out what happened. 5 minutes and change remain.
Take a look.
And there the touchback. Good call again.
Yep.
Banega a little slow off the mark.
From the linesman. What's his name, Phil? That's a linesman's call.
Nathan McDonald on the near side.
Nice one.
And actually Paul Centrangolo, as we are looking at the Tribune side. So
again,
the junior assistant.
These calls are very, very tight. There's been, so little in the decisions, but they've done it in a blink of a bee's eye, and they've got, in my opinion, they've got everyone right so far.
Again, think about it. It's one thing to be calling an A-League game on a week.
Sure.
But now you're taking on 2 of the best teams in the world, and the referees up to the challenge so far. Across
nicely
Wagner, into the area.
Good ball.
Chips it back, but cleared away by Gomez.
Wonderful play from Wagner. The touch as the ball's played into Wagner is exquisite. The final touch onto it, and the cross is wonderfully inviting. Good play from the lad who was only earning his 3rd cap.
Messi the quick restart, and then laid back finds Dybala, who has help.
Magnetizes the ball.
Villa with a little space. Di Maria again. Curls it around Wagner, but can't find Higuain. Silva with the clearance.
He's got space and time again out wide. Di Maria, I think that's a tremendous ball. Is it attacked enough with the pace, or is it just not an accurate ball? It's debatable, Phil. It's played into an area that usually is looking for Cavani, and it was like a lot quicker onto the ball than what Gonzalo Higuain has been proven to be in this game.
Otamendi, another good play defensively for Argentina. The back to the citizen, in for Banega, wide for Gomez. There's another Gomez available on the bench as we get set. 6 substitutes, of course, in this friendly, and so many players to keep an eye on. for both teams. Dybala
nice.
In for Messi.
Magic.
Edge of the area, wide for Di Maria.
Just a little bit too acute of an angle there for Di Maria to pull. Oh, that's a lovely touch from Dybala again. Even taking Messi a little bit by surprise there. That'll take time, that chemistry to come between them. But wonderful wavelength between the three players there. And again, so close.
Mercado back for Di Maria. Of course, this is a bit more of an experimental side from Tite. The next 4 World Cup qualifiers might be as well, considering they've already clinched a berth. So he's trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. They
Great ball.
Are now scrambling back against Di Maria. In for Messi.
Beautiful.
Lays it back. Dybala. Left-footed curler just wide of Waverton.
Well, the 3 lads combined for some beautiful hocus-pocus football here, and the applause from this knowledgeable crowd ring out. Wonderful from Di Maria earlier than this, and it's a great pullback, but the touch from Messi is exquisite. He sets the table beautifully. Look at that ball from Lionel. Magic. Could he have went down and strong to the opposite side? He's got a nanosecond to produce that diamond skill, but just a little bit too quick with the trigger, and the ball fades away high and wide. But brilliant football from Argentina. Set up by this man and Angel Di Maria.
Be surprised if he plays much in the second half, but Messi still looking sprightly as we head to halftime. For Brazil, Douglas Costa, Diego Sousa, Tyson, Juliano, Rodriguinho, the attacking options.
There's been rumors that Lionel Messi wants to get Angel Di Maria to Barcelona. He's been openly stating it. He'd love to have Angel with him at Camp Nou. What an addition he'd be.
Banega rolls it back. Argentina
the ball
looking for the opener. Snapped off the post, and the rebound knocked home by Mercado, and he was onside. It's gonna count.
Mercado sticks the finger in Brazil's eye and sticks a ball in a net. But it's all down to the initial ball. The initial pass is wonderfully surgical. Messi again, always involved. This is a peach of a pass from Di Maria. Sends it with a dozen roses tied around it. And it's a beautiful jackknifing header from Otamendi. It kisses the upright. Again, look at this ball here from Angel. This is why Messi wants him at Camp Nou. He places it on the head of a pin. It's absolutely brilliant. The goalkeeper perhaps gets a touch on this, Phil. I think he pushes it under the post. But then there's wonderful mop-up work on the back from the Sevilla boy, Mercado.
Third goal for the ex-River right back, playing on the left side today. And he scored some big ones. This just a friendly, but it's a big step forward with a new boss in town.
Well, that's nice to be the mop-up man like that on the spot, unquestionably. But the ball from Di Maria is where the genesis was of that goal.
Now, how much does that change things? Maybe a little more freedom for Sampaoli to make switches in the second half. Edu Salvio, Marcos Acuna, Joaquin Correa, Lanzini, the West Ham creator, Paredes from Roma, and of course Papu Gomez from Atalanta among those, including a certain Mauro Icardi.
Yes.
Who could step onto the field in the second half.
Yep. Just wonder, Phil.
And that will do it for the opening half. 1-0 Argentina at the death.
A wonderful goal in the end, but a wonderful pass. Moreover, Mercado is the one who punctures the balloon with a little pinpoint pass into the open net after a wonderful header onto the post that was saved by Weverton. Of course, he was always involved originally. But
money for Manchester City burning a hole in his pocket. Wagner, just his third cap And that likely will be Dani Alves when it comes time for Russia 2018, but you never know. And there is a change coming in for Argentina to start this second half, and it's going to be Joaquin Correa, another Sevillano, 24-year-old ex-Estudiantes and River, who had been with Sampaoli at Sevilla. And Higuain looks like he'll be coming off. This will change things a bit. I wonder if he kind of slides into the Dybala role and maybe Dybala goes to the front line. But the only change to start the second half. Relatively quiet match for Higuain. And when there's a new coach in town, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, he may have picked up a little knock. There was a couple of situations where George saw Gonzalo get a little bit rattled, but you're right, Phil. He was very much in the margins of the game and had a couple of inviting balls played in from Di Maria that I thought he might have been a little bit more eagerly onto it, but you're probably right. It looks like Correa is going to be playing a little bit behind Dybala, who looks like he's going to be leading the line. And we will see.
Paulinho, who has made a new history scoring goals under Tite, 9 now in his career. Willian more the provider and the legwork.
Would have thought that Icardi would have been the like for like in the situation, though, wouldn't you, with Higuain? So it was strange. We'll see.
And we are underway to start this second half. The Albiceleste moving from right to left, and the 5-time world champions defending the goal to the left. Banega launches it far side for Jose Luis Gomez. Gomez on that right flank, Di Maria on the left. Villa, Banega anchoring the middle. With Otamendi, Maidana, and Mercado in the back. Messi, Dybala, and Correa up front. Phil Shane, Ray Hudson with you, looking in at the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. The G, they call it.
Why'd they call it the G?
Because it's the ground.
Yeah, Mozzie said.
1853 when they first started playing here. They've had rugby and soccer, Aussie rules, cricket, of course. Although there's actually a Billy Graham revival in 1959 that holds the record, 130,000.
Lordy.
And maybe a few more saves on that day than Waverton or Romero, but a lot more action
Nice
in the
one,
first
Phil.
half.
That's good. That's a good one, Phil.
Maidana carrying a caution, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him exit sometime. 6 subs to be used. Di Maria.
This has been a nicely officiated game, let me tell you. And letting the big boys play, and really there's some wonderful split-second decisions from his assistants with the flags that has been impeccable. So full credit to Mr. Chris Beath in the middle with the whistle.
Started reffing in the A-League at 21 and has been a FIFA ref for the last 6 years. Lifted by Gomez, lunging forward Fernandinho. Felipe Luis lofting it over Otamendi. Little bit dangerous, but Romero is ready. So half in the books. Tite, of course, wanting to test a few new parts, but for Jorge Sampaoli, who has taken the Lamborghini out for a spin in the first half, how do you think he feels? Well, get to that in a moment as Paulinho steps up. Coutinho over on the left this time as Willian goes to the right. Gets away from Di Maria, but then tripped up.
It's wonderful here by Willian. The Albiceleste absolutely converge on him. Like, look at this. Metal filings onto a magnet, and Willian still evades them. Now, is this a foul? There's not a lot there. The Dybala reaches in, and Willian certainly seems to make the most of it. But this might be a little bit out of the range, but, you know, when it's a Brazilian, there's no such thing. And they see the goalposts. As I said, I've told you this many times. Yes, my father used to say to me, these are like penalty kicks for the Brazilians, Raymond. I was 10-year-old.
And judging by Messi last year, it might be a little easier.
Yeah, we'll see.
Here's Felipe Luis with the left foot, Willian with the right. And it will be the Chelsea man into the wall in a wasted effort. Bounces
of course,
up.
When my father said that, it was Garrincha lining up for the free kick, so it's a little bit different. He actually scored as well after my dad said those words. It was at Everton in the World Cup 1966. Look
Willian
out.
with the extra touch, slotting it forward. Fagner, Maidana coming over, edge of the area.
Oh.
Down he goes,
Now
and Chris Beath says no.
This one should be a bit of a yellow card for Fagner. And this referee is being a little lenient because it's a friendly. He's going down here, and that's a complete dive and simulation. And Mr. Beath saying, come on now.
And again, I know there are the laws of the game, but there's also the laws of exhibitions.
Yeah. So, rules are rules, Phil. Rules are rules. Must
Down
have
goes
rules.
Gabi Jesus. He's been getting a little extra attention today from Argentina.
I'll expect a lot more than that through the beautiful career that he's got waiting for him. He'll get plenty of that in England, that's for sure.
Chances it's touched to Banega. Long ball forward. Di Maria tries to turn the corner, but Fernandinho gets in the way. Good work by the Man City midfielder.
Yeah, and credit to Di Maria as well. After that challenge, not going down easy, trying to fight through that shoulder to shoulder, which is legal. Ball in playing distance of both players. It's contact. It's a contact game.
Otamendi. Rough season at Manchester City, to be polite, but he has been nearly foot perfect today.
He has.
Willian. To Paulinho.
Push Felipe Luis and Fagner nicely up in absence of Marcelo and Dani Alves. Not quite as effective, of course, as those two truly world-class attacking wing-backs, but always available. That's a good ball.
Coutinho in a pocket.
Nicely.
Renato Augusto in support, but goes for Willian.
Wanted him to check back onto that ball.
Wagner almost won it. Good play, Di Maria. Again, a few days from now, they'll be traveling to Singapore for their second friendly before going their ways. One of the reasons that they're making some switches.
Good player that's coming in for my money. Tagliafico. This will be interesting, Phil. This is a nice footballer that is about to enter. I've seen him in the Argentina League, and this is an emerging talent.
Making his debut.
Yep, Nico comes in, and we'll see what he can bring to the dance.
More natural left-sided player, but I think Gabi Mercado proved he can be useful there, and he scored a goal in addition to the defensive work, but Tagliafico might be able to make a name for himself over the next 40 minutes.
He's already got a good name. A nice player.
Tagliafico with his first touch goes through Willian. Second touch a little too far. The 24-year-old from Independiente. Fernandinho pulling away from Correa. Otamendi, but the touch straight to Jesus, whose shot goes straight to Romero. Manchester all around on that play. They said it was going to be for Mercado. Looks like he's gone to the right side, his more natural position. They've pulled Maidana. That is the case. Otamendi sliding to the middle. Gabi Jesus onside. Tries to sneak it across. Banega back. And then bursting forward. Tries to go Dobaka. Messi can't get there. Messi still trying to figure out where the new furniture is with Sampaoli.
Very early days, but his counterparts seeming to have a nice effect on this Argentina side. They've looked a lot more comfortable in this formation. Look out.
Burst of speed, Correa.
It's a good ball.
Lifts it up for Di Maria, who can't quite meet it on the fly.
Fabulous ball played in, and he curses deaf heaven with his bootless cries. What a ball. Correa, wonderful, sees his target, places it impeccably, split millimeter perfection. You don't see that many times. Di Maria going for a shot at goal and the ball going out for a throw in.
Mercado with the foul on the far side. Chiche
not an easy chance though for Di Maria. It always looks as if it's a real stinker, and it is, but travelling at pace onto a ball like that and trying to hit a full-blooded volley that high up is not easy, even for a world-class player like Di Maria, but disappointing. He will be thinking about that one tonight.
Luis, nice bit of footwork.
Great ball though, wasn't it, from the substitute Correa?
So many faces that are somewhat new to the scene for both of these teams. Talked about even in goal, Ederson, who could get the start against Australia, although Diego Alves making his return.
Yeah, how many times can you say that Brazil's got a wealth of talent in goal?
I think that might be a first.
Yeah.
Off to the near side, and
Weverton's not doing much wrong here today.
Tagliafico off to Di Maria, back to Banega. Pretty good young goalkeeper on the other side. Could make his debut against Singapore, and Geronimo Rui.
Yep.
Real Sociedad netminder. In fact, also with Manchester City with a buyback, if I recall correctly. Messi draws the attention back to Banega. They'll retreat and regroup. Brazil, the team trailing. So more impetus. Monaco defender Jamerson could be making his debut on this trip, as well as Ederson. The Bayern right back Rafinha and Rodrigo Caio from Sao Paulo, just a couple of caps. So again, Chiche with a little more luxury with a ticket to Russia already clinched. For Argentina, there's more method to their madness. Tagliafico drawing, dishing. Off to Correa, and again Di Maria with another shot that squirts wide.
So unlucky Tagliafico, driving on into the crowd, tries to play a quick 1-2 with Angel Correa, falls back to Angel. Here is the give and go, just cannot squeeze it through, and then Di Maria says, give me the keys, I'll drive this one home. Not quite.
Three players making their debut for Argentina already today. Tagliafico and Correa among them. Gomez with the start, but they still have Rivers Ignacio Fernandez, Atalanta's Alejandro Gomez, Lanzini from West Ham, Paredes from Roma, Guido Rodriguez from America. All making their first cap if they get on the pitch. Poor touch. Now a chance on the break.
A bad ball from Tagliafico there.
Willian.
Good ball.
Squares around Billa. Gabi Jesus bumped off the ball and cleared away.
Well, Tagliafico holds his hands up. It's a bad ball in a very dicey position. Learning on the job, but that one will be brought home to him in a highlight. That was a bad giveaway with his team in full advanced positions.
The last 15-20 minutes of the opening half, Argentina took control eventually scoring the goal, but the opening quarter hour of the second stanza, Brazil has been on the front foot. A couple of chances for Di Maria that missed the target. Romero taking his time. Look at that, all the way into the upper reaches. Cleats came out from Fernandinho, catching Correa. No foul. Quick thinking from Gabi Jesus. Coutinho puts on the brakes. And then the accelerator, but blocked. And it was Paulinho not only stopping the goal, but stopping the play. Offside. What a try by Coutinho.
Yeah, he's had these opportunities a few times today. Wonderful play to start it with that back heel flick, and then drives across, gets this ball back. He's got his defenders lined up, and then he starts running across them like a row of fence posts, and then tries to turn it in, but it might have been heading home.
And he thinks so.
Yeah, Paulinho just getting in the way.
7 goals in his 25 appearances for the Liverpool man. Fernandinho again cleaning up the mess. Good ball, Felipe Luis. Jesus 4 to beat. Slapped away by Romero. Paulinho tracks it down. Wagner. Fernandinho. William. Paulinho. Back heel, onside. Banega with the bump, and it will be a free kick for Brazil. And as we hit the hour mark, a big thank you for all of those of you joining us live. Early start in the United States.
Sergio Romero there with an open palm type of save. Perhaps would have done better using his fists of fury to get more height and distance away, but leads to this.
Willian again measuring the blades of grass, lifting it into the middle. Thiago Silva couldn't get it, and then blasted across by Gabi Jesus.
This is a poor header here from Brazil. It's an absolutely gilt-edged invitation delivered from Willie in this. Take a look at this open header. Now, maybe not quite so open in replay, but still, it's a good one for Silva to attack, and just not able to time his run. Just a half a step away.
Nice from Gil, who's quietly been solid on that back line next to Silva. Felipe Luis knocked to the ground. Two-time world champions Argentina have not won since 1986, but then again, even Brazil with 5 titles to their name haven't won since 2002. Good ball through, touched around Gabi Jesus, and it's off the post. Rebound hits the other post. Now Paulinho can't get the shot away.
Ball gets pushed away by Darth Vader's invisible force field here. This is amazing how this one doesn't go in. It's brilliant from Gabi Jesus, and seesaw football to the other end. When we see the replays of that ball pinging around, this crowd absolutely up off their seats, and sees 2 incredible misses from Brazil. One denied by the upright, but Gabi Jesus was absolutely off the charts with his brilliant touch and turn away that makes him something ultra special for both Manchester City and Brazil. Phil, this is, when we look at this one again, have a look at the turn from Gabi Jesus and his wonderful touch to release himself, and then he's done all the hard work and he does the easy part beautifully, striking it into an open net, and somehow somebody saves it. And this crowd, you can hear them just buzzing. What happened? What happened? It's just amazing.
Coutinho back to win it in midfield.
Place just went into suspended animation and entered the twilight zone in that incredible sequence of astonishing football and amazing misses.
Maybe it's the Sampaoli effect.
The full moon, I'm telling you. That gravitational pull, Phil.
Well, it is Southern Hemisphere. These two should be used to the centrifugal force. But it just spun into the post in rapid succession, and Chiche in disbelief.
Shaking his head. Here we go. This is wonderful, seeing ball through, and look at that touch from Gabby, and he hammers it. Oh, it's hit the post once and twice. I thought it was Otamendi that actually made the save, but it was just pushed away. Oh.
Almost an equalizer, but inches away. Argentina still holding on to the 1-0 lead from Gabi Mercado just before the break.
Mama. Goalposts have had a good workout here in this game at both ends of the pitch. That's a good turn from Joaquin Correa.
Chance now for Belo. Messi outside the 18. A little late off the starting gate for Ever Banega.
It was right on time. Just a little touch too heavy. Little al dente touch from Leo.
Felipe Luis not happy with the attention from the Lazio man. By the way, as you saw, Maidana's still out there. They took out Gomez, so another substitution. And this one, Brazil, Renato Augusto will come out. And the more attack-oriented Douglas Costa will check in.
Ooh, danger.
The Grêmio product through Bayern Munich got off to such a rapid start at Bayern, but slowed down as the season progresses. 26 years of age, his 20th appearance. But this will shake things up a bit. Willian maybe dropping back a bit, but I have a feeling it's almost going to be a 4-1-5. It is a friendly, if such things are possible, against Argentina.
It's been played out to be a fair game, though, Phil. Hasn't been too much vitriol. Here again, open net. Oh, fish up a tree finish this time from Gabi Jesus after a brilliant setup. Then it falls to Willian. And right there, I thought Tagliafico had it covered, but it evades him and hits the upright. So Sergio Romero absolutely hanging his rosary beads around the uprights.
Late in the play, but Belo, who wins it back there, coming in to stop Paulinho from a third try. Been a good game for Belo. Shot deflects now all the way to the back post and out to the
wonderful play again from Di Maria. Again, he holds it. There's a beautiful shake and bake, swivel of the hips by Di Maria. There was a wonderful run around him by Dybala. There's the run from Dybala. He says, I see you, I don't need you. And that's a wonderful goal. I tell you what, if it doesn't hit the back heel of Thiago Silva, that might be kissing the upright of Weverton and going in. Who knows?
Messi from the corner. And all the way back. Offside, though, as Banega did not get back in time. Fifth corner for Argentina, just one for Brazil.
That's amazing, though, wasn't it, Phil? Those two. I don't think I've ever seen two opportunities like that missed in such quick succession. This lad's touch to set up his open netter was astonishing.
Not bad for the 20-year-old. Di Maria, only a left foot, but he does get it out of danger.
Good defending right on top there of Paulinho was Di Maria.
Takes the hit from Otamendi, his teammate, and draws the foul.
I think he's right. I think this is a foul coming through the back a little bit too aggressively. Otamendi, as the ball travels into Gabi right here. That's a clear kick through his teammate. Now, there you go. That's
Pep Guardiola might fine him for that.
Yeah.
And it looks like we could see another substitution.
Great opportunity here for the Liverpool lad. See if he can put a bit of scouse on this one.
His day done. They're bringing in a defensive midfielder, the Mexican-based Guido Rodriguez, making his debut. Ex-River through Tijuana, and now
some
with the
wonderful
Águilas.
touches from Dybala throughout this game. Starting to develop a good understanding with Lionel as well in very tight confines, so the best's yet to come from that combination, which should be like Lennon and McCartney eventually.
Would imagine Banega will push up alongside Messi as Rodriguez will slot in next to Villa, but let's see.
This is danger. This is a wonderful dead ball hitter, and Costa as well, but I think it'll be Coutinho.
Coutinho from about 25 lifts it up and over the near post.
Thought it was going to drop, and he did too. Wonderful straight through from Jurgen Klopp's lad. Great dynamic on it. Right here. Whoa, just... Oh, man, that's close. I know it looks way off of target, but it's literally half an ounce, if that, of weight on his pass and maybe a couple of degrees of angle. And that one would have been in. If is the biggest word.
Well, just to give you an idea, Brazil in need of a goal, but the only player on the bench for Brazil that has scored is David Luiz.
Great release, he'll take him on.
Chance for Willian, around Tagliafico, good ball, back post, just touched. Mercado in perfect position.
Magnificent from Willian, absolutely jaw-dropping brilliance from the Chelsea man. Got nowhere to go. He sees his late arriving there, that little hip shake, and then a beautiful delivery and wonderfully contained in the end by Mercado to do the job with a slicker hair gel to get it away from the waiting Gabi Jesus. Brilliant from Willian. What a ball. From that distance, Phil, the two Albiceleste shirts in front of him. Great vision from Willian. Ex-Corinthians man. Who's your favourite Brazil team, Phil? I've always liked
from a club?
I've always liked. I had a soft spot for Palmeiras.
I don't think there's anything soft about Palmeiras.
But I've always had a soft spot for them. I'm just talking about in following. I always look for Palmeiras results first.
For me?
Or a Santos man, I bet, aren't you?
No, although fun to watch. For me, São Caetano. I loved when they started coming up. And in fact, it was Tite who was one of the ones that got São Caetano up there. Corinthians,
yeah,
probably the...
Yeah, everybody's favourite, huh? Great badge as well, Corinthians. Love their badge. Argentina club, Boca. Boca. Don't say it, Phil. I know it's right on the edge of your tongue. You better not say that River word. I'm only kidding, lads. I'm only kidding. I get hate mail from the River Plate lads. I get worse ones from the lasses.
Yeah. Ball up the line for Correa. Does well holding it in. You do see Banega has pushed up a little bit, allowing Rodriguez, the 23-year-old 6'1" defensive midfielder, to slot in. Now second change. And Fagner will exit.
But a decent game. More than a decent game.
Rafinha, the Bayern right back, coming in for his third appearance. This not the Barcelona Rafinha. This the 31-year-old from Grêmio. Grêmio Londrina as a youth player. Through Coritiba. And then to Germany. Probably been one of the more interesting things with Tite. He has left the door open for so many players that had been locked outside. Felipe Luis, even one of them, brought back to the fold.
Good management. And if you listen to Tite talk in his press conferences, Phil, a wonderful delivery about him, and really speaks with not just an authority, but obviously a depth of knowledge and appreciation of what Brazil are known for in the beautiful game, and he's certainly bringing that in his management of the Mineirão.
Grabbing the lower part of his calf.
Had a good game.
Started at the left inside position, now pretty much almost playing a right wing. And as he goes down, it looks like his day is done. No reason to risk it.
Yeah, he's got to be brought off now.
And
so
again,
we'll see another sub coming in.
They have Eduardo Salvio, the Benfica winger, who kind of plays that position if they want like for like.
Tremendous player. Well,
75th minute approaching, and here's what happened just before the break.
here's the peach of a pass from Angel Di Maria, and then that lovely header from Otamendi. A great attempt by Weverton, but Mercado wipes his feet on the welcome mat and steps through the door. 1-0.
This is again intriguing from São Paulo, bringing in another center back.
Yeah,
Emmanuel Mamana, ex-River by way of Olympique Lyon. His second appearance for Argentina.
a lot of people expected Mamana to have a starting position in the game, so it will be interesting to see if he can put this game to bed and lock it up for Argentina.
São Paulo went with Jonathan Maidana, the River defender, instead. But he's done well.
Yeah.
There he is again under pressure.
Very assured.
You see Rodriguez slotting in, allowing Billa to push forward a bit. So different look here. More of a four-back from São Paulo.
A great chasing of the game by Brazil. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked at all if they saw the equaliser go in. Being very much after the opening first 5, 7, 10 minutes. I thought Argentina was starting to press nicely. It's a good ball.
Correa brings it down. Messi on the run, slams into heel.
Well
Ball
played.
bounces to Banega.
Good check.
Banega still. Now squared for Tagliafico. Di Maria.
Aye.
Kept in Correa. Correa! But it bounces to Weverton.
Doesn't get enough height or pop on the ball. Nicely set up from Di Maria.
Surprised
Easily
Messi and Di
selection.
Maria still out there?
Yeah, perhaps.
This just goes to show not your
Good ball.
normal friendly.
Coutinho. And
Finds
again.
Gabi Jesus.
Ah.
Tagliafico steps up. Di Maria dodges the blades.
The poor ball from Gabi Jesus, wasn't it? And of all players that you want to hit when they're in full strides, it's Willian who had his defender one-on-one. He had Tagliafico dead to rights if the ball had been played into his feet.
Mamana. Back for Messi. Now, a lot of times these friendlies have contract stipulations that the stars need to play a certain amount of minutes. It almost seems more from São Paulo and Messi like that first date. They want to get to the doorstep and find out how the date ends. At this point, it looks pretty good under a stiff test from Brazil.
And they keep on coming. It's a good tackle force for Willian.
But touches to
Nice
Willian.
feed.
Burst of speed to the goal line, across, and it skips away from Paulinho. Jesus making a move. It's Costa inside, Romero on the goal line.
An electrical football from Willian, the ex-Corinthians man, dancing, weaving, duking on this right side, cutting in, driving past his defender to the dead ball line. Willian says, here, see you later. Tagliafico, beautiful driven ball across. It's well dealt with as best as he can from Sergio Romero. On the torture rack a little bit now. Argentina is Brazil start to pile on forward.
Yellow against Paulinho.
I've got to say, Phil, it's amazing Brazil haven't hit the back of the net. They've had some wonderful opportunities and done it in the Brazilian way. Argentina have earned the right to be ahead.
Mourinho raking the Achilles of Guido Rodriguez. Just the second caution. By the way, you take a look at Mamana
Gotta be a
over
world
there.
record. It really must be. For 2 yellow cards for Brazil against Argentina. You do your statistical check on that one, Phil Shane, and I bet you that's right. Then that's all credit to the man in the middle. Again, his name, Mr. Chris Beath from down under.
Brisbane referee, 32 years of age. Well, we get a few bonus points for his performance here today himself.
Certainly gets a Vegemite sandwich from me.
Far side. Costa against Mamana, tackles it away for the corner. I was going to say, this is the first time Mamana's played as a right back since his days at River Plate.
Looks good.
And this is the time to experiment for São Paulo, because once they get back to qualifying against Uruguay, they need victories. Messi slammed to the turf by Rafinha.
This could be a card.
And he doesn't care. Messi a little slow to get up. Rafinha sending a message to Messi and his coach.
Yeah, that's a certain yellow card. If that's not given, then the referee, I think, did go for it. Well played again. Mr. Chris Beath. I want him refereeing the World Cup final, Phil. Been absolutely tremendous.
And another switch for Brazil. Giuliano checking in. Zenit St. Petersburg attacking mid. Ex-Paraná. And another switch coming in. It's Manuel Lanzini. 5th of 6 substitutes for Argentina. So we're still waiting for Papu. We're still waiting for Icardi. And we might be waiting till Singapore. Banega comes out. Good game.
Yep, as ever. Always ultra consistent. The ex-Boca man. Valencia, Sevilla. Tremendous performance again by Eva.
Maria gets tangled with Thiago Silva.
Tough to pick a man of the match out in this game, Phil.
Di Maria and Biglia have jumped out on the Argentine side.
Right. And for Brazil, it's been a good overall team performance in many ways.
Can't think of anyone of the 22 who have had a poor day.
Yeah, it could have gone either way this game, and it may still do.
With Luis, a nice touch. Back from Fernandinho. Coutinho. But Biglia makes the rabbit disappear.
There's the old action from Sampaoli. Come on, we got him. It'll be a big confidence boost. Beating the World Cup host the last time. Look at that.
95,569. That's capacity. There is room for 5,000 standing room. But what a show. The second time they've been in Melbourne. The first back in July of '88 in a Bicentenary Gold Cup, where it ended in a scoreless draw. This one just 1 goal to its name, but a lot more to it on the day.
There's been wonderful opportunities at both ends of the pitch. The goalkeepers have been called upon. There's been some staggering misses, and it's a strange scoreline in many, many ways. There should be a lot more goals on there, but that's the fickle nature, the beautiful game, and he'll know it and take it in stride. We've seen his team play very well, and
Giuliano, by the way, West Ham icon of late, coming in for Paulinho. Good look at the bleached blonde locks of Mamana. Messi dancing through the challenges, now turns back upfield, can't find Correa. Felipe Luis, more good defense.
Good cover here by
Rafinha.
Argentina.
To William.
This man needs covering up.
Triple teamed now.
Good idea. He still gets through.
And back to Rafinha. Skipping through Fernandinho. Maidana missed it. Jesus. Felipe Luis. Costa. Too high.
Good targets on the inside of him as well. And he goes for the spectacular. Never run.
And still have Rodriguinho, the Corinthians attacker. Sosa from Sport Recife. Tyson, the Shakhtar Donetsk winger. So there's still perhaps a few goals on the bench with 6 and change left. And again, as I mentioned, of the Brazilian substitutes, only David Luiz has actually ever scored. The rest of them still looking for their debut tallies. Good. Has it been?
Yeah, I think it's been. They've looked comfortable in many ways. They've relied on some slices of good fortune, it must be said. And defensively, there's been some real staunch performances from Argentina. But again, early days is getting the message across, and if they can get out of here with this result, it would be a big confidence booster, unquestionably. I think he'll be pleased overall. The midfield, Phil, for me, was the biggest question of all for Argentina. And I think everyone's had 1 or 2 questions there. So
I think we saw an example of it right there also. Just the defensive intensity, something that is typical of Bielsa and Sampaoli.
Right.
Get the ball back. You can't do anything pretty with it if you don't have it.
Right, and always press urgently under Sampaoli, and it'll come, and it'll become better.
Nice touch, Felipe Luis. Maybe the best performance from a Brazilian player on the day. Maybe Jesus.
Nicely.
And a takedown of Villa. With all the changes, Di Maria has slid to a more central role for Argentina down the stretch, as he has for PSG of late. Maidana, Tagliafico, looking long, too long. 95,000 plus in attendance in Melbourne. 19 different countries have hosted this rivalry. Is it a handball against Maidana? Rafinha appealing, but they'll have to settle for the corner. Last 2 times have been in qualifying. They opened up the race for 2018 in Buenos Aires in a drab 1-1 draw. Belo Horizonte was a bit different. A resurgent Brazil with a 3-0 win. And while this won't count as points, it will give some momentum. William looking long. Silva. But again, can't quite meet it. Jesus from an offside position.
He's worked hard. Great runs behind. Wonderful with his feet. The killer touch strangely went missing when he had created something out of nothing to tie this game up. But a 20-year-old Phil, the future's bright for the Brazilian leader of the line in Gabriel Jesus.
Ray, another missed touch. By the way, Ray, I know how fond you are of stats, but 22 shots and just the 1 goal. But the thing that jumps out to me a bit more surprising, 61% possession Argentina. Brazil just 39. Otamendi measured too much off the back of Juliano. Brazil trying to get it back. Fernandinho clatters in. Down goes Rodriguez, and another player down. Looks like it's Jesus again. He has been manhandled on the day. And again, it's his Manchester City teammate Otamendi.
He's going over the top for a header that he wins, but the arm comes around and just catches him. There's no action on the elbow or the arm from Otamendi on his teammate, as you say, but he certainly catches him right under the eye, right on his cheekbone, and he's obviously got a little bit of a gash there as well. Here he goes, wins it over him, and there's the elbow that comes right into Gabby.
Well, they try and patch him up, and it looks like they will be able to do so. Don't forget, much more action coming your way with World Cup qualifying, a few friendlies and the like, and African Cup of Nations qualifying tomorrow. Cameroon against Morocco. Nigeria, South Africa among them. Check out beInSports.com for details. Toulon tournament continuing as well.
It's another example of what this rivalry is. It's two teammates at Manchester City going at it like St. George and the Dragon and not backing down at all. I really didn't think there was any intention there by Otamendi on his teammate at all. It's unfortunate, but the point of the elbow, which is, you know, pointy part of your body really, and catches him right on his cheekbone.
Looks
unfortunate.
Like he might be done just in case. And Tyson, as Gabi Jesus knocked out, the Shakhtar Donetsk winger, admitted his mom named him after the boxer, saying she was a big fan. And about to step onto the field for the third time for Brazil. This is going to add a little bit, and they're going to actually ask for the stretcher, so maybe a bit woozy in addition to the blood.
A shame to end the game in such a way, of course, because it's been a very fairly played game. No broken bottle edge about it, but it's been of a competitive nature and a heightened edge about it for sure, but really no vitriol in it. Yeah, take another look, Phil. Arm comes across and comes down, and certainly the action is there. But I really still don't, in all the replays that we've seen, think there's any malice there.
Just physical defending, but sometimes there's a price.
Well, it's a contact sport, and sometimes these contacts result in this situation of accidental damage.
You see the 3 minutes added. This is likely going to add a bit more, and I wonder whether this knocks Gabi Jesus out of the friendly against Australia on Tuesday. By the way, you can catch that here on beIN Sports. Check out beInSports.com for specifics.
Good game.